Welcome back to talking and discussing about every major Dragon Ball Super English dub change in the series. Today's episode, episode 77 in the Japanese, is titled Let's Do It, Zeno-sama, the All-Universe Martial Arts Tournament, and in the English dub, it is titled Let's Do It, Grand Zeno, the Universe's Best Tournament. So very similar titles, with only the Grand Zeno title changed and the second title, which in the Japanese, as I said, is the All-Universe Martial Arts Tournament, and in the English is the Universe's Best Tournament. The first major dub change, in my opinion, comes in when the Zenos are tied in the universe-destroying game, and both present and future Zeno play this game, and they are tied. In the Japanese, they say we're exactly at 101 wins and 101 losses, and in the English dub, they point out that they are tied with 101 wins each, with no mention of the 101 losses that is prevalent in the Japanese version. Later on, the episode cuts to Goku as he comments on his day out at the farm market. In the Japanese, he says, "What a great day," and in the English, he comments that it is a beautiful day, so not much of a difference there. You could imply that the Japanese was like, "What a great day," as in, I had a great day, you know, what a great series of events, and in the English dub it could be implying that it was a beautiful day, like the sun is out, or the grass is fresh, or the weather is nice, rather than talking about the great events that unfolded on that day. So in the Japanese it's what a great day, and in the English it's man, what a beautiful day. Very similar, but could mean two different things. When out at the market, the buyers which Goku is selling, they comment that Goku's vegetables are very popular, and in the Japanese they say, "Sure, your vegetables are pretty popular, son-san," and in the English they say, "Oh, you bet, Goku, your last batch flew off the shelf." So in the English it says, in the English, it describes Goku's vegetables as extremely popular, but in the Japanese, they say it's pretty popular. But your last batch flew off a shelf, that implies more that it's extremely popular. Like, I mean, they just flew off a shelf, they were immensely popular, but in the Japanese, it's only pretty popular. So there's a bit of a difference there, not a huge dub change though. When Goku receives his money from selling his vegetables, in the Japanese, he says, "Pops gave me a lot of money," while in the English, the line is a little more liberal and comical when he says, "Well, that worked out. I'm not too good with money, but it seems like a ton." So instead of the Japanese just straight out saying that he earns a lot of money, the English had to make it into kind of a joke, which points out more of his stupid side. Again, not a huge dub change, but it is worth noting that it does change the line's context a little bit and adds more of Goku's character into it as well. Another dub change comes in when a robber approaches Goku and asks him to help out with his vehicle issues. In the Japanese, the robber stops him, pretending to actually act innocent, and he says, "I'm sorry, my car got stuck. Could you help me get it out?" And in the English, he says, "I wasn't paying attention, sir, and I got my truck stuck in the ditch. I hate to bother you, but would you mind helping me get it out?" The Japanese, it's very direct and forward, but in the English dub, he's playing to more of the sympathy card, like he's trying to get more sympathy out of Goku. It's a more of an appeal to emotion, if anything, in the English dub, by saying, "I wasn't paying attention, and I hate to bother you." That's how he's appealing to emotion, and that's why the English dub, for me at least, is a better line in this scenario, because it just seems like the robber is more cunning and less direct than the Japanese. In the Japanese, he's like, "I'm sorry, my car got stuck, could you help me get it out?" Very forward and not that cunning. So Goku takes out the robbers, and once he got scratched by a bullet, Goku's very surprised and then phones Krillin, and obviously Krillin is out on a bust right now, like he is out in a shootout, and Krillin obviously can't be on the phone because it's the middle of the day and he has police work. And anyway, so in the Japanese he says, "Sorry Goku, my hands are tied at the moment," and in the English dub he says, "K, apology accepted Goku, but I'm kinda busy at the moment." So the context has changed once again. In the Japanese, he's saying, sorry Goku, I can't be at the phone right now. And in the English dub, it seems like Goku apologized for making fun of Krillin because he's weak himself now because he got hit by the bullet. So when Goku says, hey, I shouldn't be making fun of Krillin for getting grazed by a bullet because I did the same thing, it seems like Krillin is responding to that and saying, hey, apology accepted Goku, you know, it's fine, but I'm kind of busy right now. So the context has changed, but it's not a terrible dub line by any stretch of the imagination. It actually fits for the story, but it is different to the Japanese. Goku has the idea of training with Whis on Beerus's planet, and his idea to get them to actually train him is to get daifuku, which is a rice sticky pudding dish, but Whis has already tried daifuku, so Goku tempts him with the bean-flavored daifuku, and then Whis has not tried bean daifuku before, so in the Japanese he says we haven't eaten that before, and in the English dub he says I've heard talk of such a thing but I don't believe we've tried it. So in the English it implies that Whis has heard of such a thing. He has heard of the bean daifuku dish, but he just hasn't tried it. But in the Japanese, it doesn't imply that at all. So it could be possible that in the Japanese, he hasn't even heard of bean daifuku before, but in the English, they at least imply it. As Goku's developing this plan of training with Whis, Goten wants to join in as well, but Chi-Chi of course thinks Goten might get hurt during the training, and in the Japanese version she says, what if you get hurt? Very stock standard, very basic line, and in the English dub she says, what if you make a mistake and break your arm? Now the English dub just adds the breaking your arm addition just out of nowhere, and it's kind of unnecessary, but it doesn't break up the flow of the scene whatsoever, and it's a perfectly fine dub change. It doesn't really change anything, but it's a bit unnecessary. There's a scene later on when Goku says that him and Beerus are best friends, and in the Japanese and English they are handled very similar but also pretty different. So in the Japanese he says, huh? But me and Beerus-sama are tight. So I kind of find it funny that even though him and Beerus are best friends, he still calls him Beerus-sama. But anyway, in the English dub, he says, what? But Beerus and I are best buds. He's not gonna care. So the English dub, it says Beerus and I, but in the Japanese, he says me and Beerus because me and Beerus doesn't really make sense. You know, it's more so Beerus and I, that's how we say it. So me and Beerus kind of caters to Goku's hick dialect and uneducated dialect, more so than the English dub, but the English dub and Sean Shammel's performance also gives a sort of a hick, uneducated accent, kind of like a surfer dude, but it's kind of funny how the Japanese and English sort of are different here. When Goten picks out the daifuku gift box to give to Beerus and Whis, in the Japanese he says, sir, we'd like this box of 20, it's a gift. And in the English dub, he says, Mr. Dessert Guy, we'll take the full 20 pack in a gift box, please. So in the Japanese, he specifically says it's a gift, but in the English dub, it more cleverly hides that fact by saying, wrap it in a gift box, please. And also I love in the English dub how Goten says Mr. Dessert Guy. I just find that very funny and very childlike, which I really dig. It very much suits Goten's character, even though it wasn't in the Japanese originally. Goku and Goten arrive at Capsule Corporation, and the receptionist there greets Goku. In the Japanese, she says, welcome son Goku-sama, and in the English dub, she says, hello Goku, welcome back. So in the Japanese, it is an extremely formal greeting. She says, welcome son Goku-sama, but in the English, it seems much more casual as she just says, hello Goku, welcome back. It's more professional casual rather than extremely professional as she says son Goku-sama in the Japanese dub. Just another quick dub change now. When Bulma notices Goku after arriving at Capsule Corporation, the Japanese dub, they say, Sun-kun, you're here. But in the English dub, the dialogue is a bit more expanded as she says, oh Goku, hey, how's life treating you? So Bulma notices Goku, and in the English dub, the dialogue is a bit expanded, but it's not too bad. Then Goku says hello to Bulma after she notices him, and in the Japanese, Goku says, "Oh, yo, Bulma." And in the English dub, yet again, expanding that dialogue by saying, "Great, and about to get even better because of Whis training Goku." That's what the whole episode is about, is Whis training Goku, and of course, the Tournament of Power beginning. So yeah, about to get even better means getting trained by Whis, which wasn't in the Japanese dialogue, but oh well, it doesn't really affect anything in the story. So Bulma assumes that Goku and Goten are there because she is pregnant, and they just decided to visit because of their kind hearts. And Bulma says in the Japanese, "Oh, did you come to check in on me by chance? How unlike you." And then Goku in the Japanese dub replies with, "Check in on you?" Because that was obviously not his intention. But in the English dub, Bulma says, "Wait a minute, Goku, what is that? Did you bring a shower gift?" referring to the daifuku. Anyway, she goes on to say, "How totally unlike you." And then Goku says in the English dub as a little gag, "Who's showering?" So the English dub line in this scene, both from Bulma and Goku, are quite liberal, but overall it achieves the same effect. Bulma is expecting something else and Goku is confused. So it's the same message, it's just carried from two different ways. So I do like the English dub, how it utilizes the shower gift and the daifuku a bit more into the line, and Goku's reply, "Who's showering?" because Goku is full of those stupid lines. But anyway, I do like the English dub line as well as the Japanese, so there's really no winner. I mean, I'm not trying to make a competition out of this, but, you know, out of the dub versus the sub, who had the better line here? I'm not sure, it's rather tied, but I do like the English dub line a lot, even though it does take a few liberties from the Japanese. Fast forwarding a bit to Trunks weighing in on Bulma's second child's gender. In the Japanese, Trunks says either one's fine, so either if it's a boy or a girl, he doesn't really mind. But in the English, he has one stipulation. He says, "I don't care as long as they're not lame," which I do like the English line a bit better. It just spices the line up a bit more. I mean, the Japanese line is suitable, but the English dub is just punched up a bit more, and it fits Trunks' personality way more. You know, especially in the English dub. "I don't care, as long as they're not lame, I could give a shit less." In the Japanese, it's a way more passive line, either one's fine. Both of them work as little pieces of dialogue, but Trunks weighing in on Bulma's second child's gender, I honestly prefer the English dub line on this, it just has more personality. Speaking of Trunks, he asks Goten to train with him instead of Whis, and the Pilaf gang chime in by saying, in the Japanese at least, "We're no match for you, none at all." And in the English dub, the Pilaf gang do not want to train with Trunks, and they say, "We're not going to be a Super Saiyan's punching bag, scatter," and then they all run away. So I do like the English dub for being a bit more fruitful with the line, and it's a bit of a comical line, especially with the Super Saiyan's punching bag. I don't know, it just makes me giggle. They're accurate, but it's kind of different. So this English dub line is a bit more liberal, even though it kind of means the same thing. It is a bit more liberal than the other lines in episode 77 of the Funimation English dub, but nonetheless, very funny line and quite the comical scene with the Pilaf gang. After getting some training in with Whis, Goku goes to see the Grand Priest and by extension Zeno. Grand Priest sees Goku, and in the Japanese he says, "Oh, it's you. Can I help you?" And in the English dub, he's far more specific and says, "The Saiyan or Saiyan, Goku from Universe 7. Can I help you with something?" I don't know why I get this feeling, but it seems like the English dub implies that the Grand Priest is far more sinister than he leads on, because he says the Saiyan Goku from Universe 7, very weird, very unsocial way of speaking, so I kind of find it funny. Next on the dub changes list, Beerus comments on Supreme Kai's world. In the Japanese, he just says, "This place seems as boring as ever," but in the English, he's like, "Ho hum, just as dull as ever, there's not even a castle." And just because they mention in in the English dub, there's not even a castle, just bumps this line up to me. Jason Douglas as Beerus just kills it all the time, especially in episode 77 with his confrontation with Goku, and this line is just why I love Beerus. I mean, it just illustrates it so well. The English dub line is far better than the Japanese. He just says ho-hum, just as dull as ever. There's not even a castle. Very sarcastic, very dry humor Beerus has, and I just love the ho-hum, and also there's not even a castle. I just love this line. It's brilliant. One of the lines in the English dub of Dragon Ball Super episode 77 that they included and not just changed is when Beerus and the Supreme Kais bow to the Grand Priest as he shows up at the sacred world of the Kais. In the Japanese, I believe they all just go, ah, and like scream, but in the English dub they actually say something. They say, we're humbled by your presence. Very minor, but I actually like this addition with the English dub. It doesn't really change much, and it actually adds to the overall scene rather than in the Japanese them just saying, ah, because that's kind of boring. It's funny, but it's kind of boring. So yeah, the English dub, I like the addition with Beerus and the Supreme Kais saying, we're humbled by your presence when they bow to the Grand Priest. Good addition by Funimation. And the final dub change on this Dragon Ball Super English dub video is when the Grand Priest reads out the tournament fixture and specifically the tournament time. In the Japanese dub they say on the 157th hour, and in the English dub they actually say at precisely 157 o'clock. So the difference there is obvious, as you can tell. Instead of the 157th hour they say 157 o'clock, which the English dub, I don't know, it just sounds kind of goofy. 157 o'clock. The Japanese line just sounds better and it sounds more important rather than 157 o'clock. It just sounds goofy and it doesn't really work in the context of what the Grand Priest is talking about, which is the tournament date and time. So yeah, the Japanese dub is a tad better in my opinion. But that is it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this Dragon Ball Super dub changes episode. That's going to do it for me. Please make sure to rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.